everyone. I wanted to do a video showing liquid liner. I am going to be using a new liner that I got recently from NYX. It's a marker style liner. It's their super fat eye marker. And just how I use it with my particular eye setup, which is with the little bit of a hooded kind of mature eye situation going on. So if you'd like to see, keep on watching.
First, I'm just going to use a Neutrogena Healthy Skin Primer to help keep down the shine a little bit and give me a touch of SPF. It's SPF 15, and that's all I'm going to use for my face. No foundation or powder or concealer. On my cheeks, for the highlight, I'm using MAC Cream Color Base in Pearl, which gives such a nice sheen. I don't think it has the best lasting power because of that kind of slippery base it has, but it's so pretty. On my cheeks, I'm using a Milani blush. I can't remember what the shade's called, so I'll have to annotate it somewhere. And I'm applying it with a Real Techniques blush brush, which is pretty new to me, very soft. It's also good for applying powder, which is why I originally bought it.
So, just a quick kind of comment about this liner. It's very easy to apply, but you have to kind of do a couple layers, let one dry, put another layer on. Otherwise, this will kind of bunch up or just kind of fade, turn patchy. So it doesn't have the best lasting power. I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone except for the fact that it's really easy to apply. So if you want to practice with something that's really easy to use possibly, and it's on sale and you have a coupon, maybe you should buy it. But otherwise, I would look at other marker style liners that have better lasting power. So that's all I have to say about that. And I'm really not very good at liner, so I need help from a product. Okay, we're gonna try this again because when I tried to focus, I accidentally stopped recording and didn't notice until the very end. Good job. So we're just gonna do the eyes over.
For eye primer this time, I am using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance in Candlelight. This was probably one of the first high-end products I ever bought, and it hasn't completely separated, so that's good. But I don't use it very often. Very pretty though. And for eyeshadow, I'm using Wet n Wild Trio in the Gilded Age. I am not sure, I think this was limited edition, but it has a really pretty kind of warm pink, rose gold-ish brow bone color, and the kind of deeper brown I'm using at the lash line and blended up into the outer corner. All of the shades in that trio are quite shimmery, quite soft as well, so really tap off the excess from your brush. I didn't, I forgot to, and I had some brownish colored fallout on my under eyes that I had to clean up later. On my brows, I'm using Urban Decay Shakedown, the same powder I normally use, and just a very short, stiff smudge brush from Sigma, which I find does my brows quite nicely. It's easy to control and apply. And to keep everything in place and kind of blend things out, I'm using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, which will especially help with any longer stray hairs go flopping around. And now onto the main focus of this video, the eyeliner. So when you have kind of a hooded eye that's not a monolid, I think that that's not something that you really see all that much on YouTube, at least. and it can be kind of difficult to do a winged liner without it getting all curly or bent looking at the corners. I don't really have much of a trick, but one thing I would say is start the wing at a place that's probably not at the very edge of your eyelid, especially if your eyes kind of turn down a little bit at the ends, like mine do at the outer corner. I try to start lifting the wing up a little bit from the outer corner and just kind of slowly build up the liner. Another thing that I try to do is kind of sit back, look at both eyes with them closed and with them open to see if they're even. My right eye actually is hooded over beyond the corner of my eye, but my left isn't. So they tend to be kind of unbalanced when I'm trying to do a winged liner like this, just because that will accentuate the differences. And another thing to keep in mind is you can always kind of go in and clean up with a Q-tip or just a Kleenex with makeup remover to kind of sharpen the edges, or if you brought it down too low, kind of lift it up again. And that's what I'm doing here, just with the Estee Lauder liquid makeup remover. So for me, it's been just kind of trial and error, trying to figure out what shape works best for me. And because my eyes are kind of a little bit more rounded in shape, I find that it helps if I bring the thicker liner closer to my inner corner, whereas a lot of times they'll suggest to kind of have it very thin until you have reached kind of the midpoint and then make it thicker and lift it up. I find that and another thing that I wanted to mention is that for me personally, it helps to lift it up like not quite at the edge. If you have more heavily hooded eyes that are going out beyond the corner, you might want to actually bring it out a little further and then lift it up so that it doesn't get kind of trapped up in the crease of the hood. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that. Because mine are a little bit downturned, it can get kind of droopy, which is a whole different look, but not what I was going for with this particular situation. So now for my under eyes, I'm using first the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer in an effort to make my under eye stuff go on a little bit smoother, because I have a lot of dryness. And lashes, I'm just using CoverGirl LashBlast Volume. Of the mascaras that I have open now, it's probably the best that I have, but it's not my favorite. And I'm just going back to kind of fix up, as I'm doing my mascara, I'm finding it's not quite looking right on this eye. So, for me, it's definitely a building process to get the eyes right. And last thing, I almost forgot my under eye kind of brightening, which is the Garnier Anti-Dark Circle Roller, which I find if I have this and no other face stuff on, it does enough for what I want. So I'm happy with it. It doesn't give a lot of coverage, but it does kind of even things out. It will tone down a little bit of the red tones that I have around my eyes and cheeks, because it has kind of a yellowish tone to it.
So that's it. That's the finished winged liner on the more mature eyes, such as mine, using the NYX fat eye, big fat eye marker, whatever it's called. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.